All right, welcome back. In this video, we're going to be talking about inverse variation, which is one of the things that we are required to talk about in Texas Algebra 2. And inverse variation is really one of the things where like as one quantity increases, the other decreases, and the key equation is that y is some number divided by x, where that special number is not equal to 0, right? Okay, so I think I'm just going to start up with an example. So a few members of the track team order a large pizza. Okay? And you think about sharing, right? The more people there are to share amongst, the less each person gets. So it's known that a full pizza has 3,000 calories and that track athletes must consume at least 800 calories per meal just to make it through the day. Let C represent the number of calories each athlete will take in from pizza if it's evenly split between N teammates. We're going to write an equation for that first. Okay, so our inverse variation equation is it's going to be C and versus N. Okay, so C is equal to some number divided by N. C equals K divided by N. Okay, let's see. Well, I guess the number is going to be 3,000. Right? So we're dividing 3,000 by the number of people to get the number of calories each person gets. That was not entirely obvious. I've got two more down below that will be much more obvious. Okay, so this is going to be C equals 3,000 calories divided by a number of people gives you calories per person, right? The units of this divided by the units of that will give you the units of C. All right, now if I want to know enough calories, that's going to be 800 per meal just to make it through the day. All right, so 800 equals 3,000 divided by N. And this is, maximum number. Okay, to compute that, I'm going to solve a rational equation like we just learned how to do. So I'm going to multiply both sides by N, and I'll get 800N equals 3,000. I feel like 4,000 would have been a better number for this example, but it's okay. Gone too far now. And N is going to be 3,000 divided by 800, which is like 30 divided by 8, or 15 divided by 4, or... Okay, I'm giving in. I'm just going to grab a calculator. Yeah, it's 3.75. I was on my way there. So the maximum number of people, right, if I made that more people, I would be getting less than 800 calories per person. So the maximum number of people that can eat on this pizza while still taking in at least 800 calories each is going to be 3. And that makes sense because at 3 people, 800 calories per meal would be 2,400 calories, but then there would be some left over in the pizza. But if you had 4, they're not enough. You need 3,200 total calories to feed 4 people, 4 track athletes. That's not going to work. All right, so two quantities, x and y, vary inversely. That means that y equals k divided by x. Okay, and then when x equals 10, y equals 3. They usually give you some sort of like starting value, or some starting value so you can figure out the value of k. So I'm going to plug in 3 for y and 10 for x. And then I'm going to solve this rational equation by multiplying both sides by 10. I don't know if this is exactly a rational equation, this type of equation we've been solving all year, but k is going to equal 30. So my equation that relates y to x is y equals 30 over x. Now, I think this would be the proper time for me to show you that actually x equals 30 divided by y is a valid answer to this question also. And so I'm going to just grab Post-it note real quick and show you what I'm saying. All right, I'm going to just work on this thing so that I can show you that these are the same equation. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation in red by y. And I'll have x times y equals 30y divided by y. Well, that's just going to be 30, provided y isn't 0. And then I could solve for y by dividing both sides by x and say y is 30 divided by x. So these are just equivalent relationships here. Basically saying if x varies inversely with y, then y varies inversely with x, which is kind of something you probably already suspected. All right, now it is known that p varies inversely with q, so p is some number divided by q, or q is some number divided by p, however you like it. When p is 4, q is 5, so 4 equals k divided by 5, multiplied by 5, k equals 20. So my equation is p equaling 20 divided by q. And then find the value of q when p equals 8. So 8 equals 20 divided by q. And then maybe I'll multiply both sides by q. So 8q equals 20. Divide both sides by 8 and get q is 20 divided by 8. 20 and 8 are both divisible by 4, so that'll be 5 over 2. Yeah, 20 divided by 8 is, 5 divided by 2. All right, and then I'm thinking, no, that's something else. If you were feeling like you needed more practice on this, I've got this problem here. But this is getting into direct and joint variation, which I'm not really talking about in this video. So what I'm saying is if you need the extra practice, I will link this document in the description of the video. But that's going to be all for this one. Thanks for watching.